In the village of Alakaya, where the sun warms the earth, Nneka's life took an unexpected turn. Her parents, with determined expressions, sat her down on a woven mat in their modest mud brick home. The air smelled of roasted yam and palm oil, a comforting aroma that masked the tension in the room. "Listen, Nneka," her father began, his voice deep like the river Niger during the rainy season. "Our ancestors have guided us for generations. They whisper in the rustling leaves and dance in the flicker of fireflies. It is their will that you marry Chief Okoye." Nneka's heart fluttered like a startled bird. Chief Okoye was a man of many years, his skin etched with wrinkles like the ancient woolly patterns on the village walls. His wealth was legendary: cattle, yam barns, and a compound that sprawled like a mini village. But Nneka had seen the chief at the market, his eyes lingering on the young girls as if they were ripe mangoes waiting to be plucked. She shuddered at the thought of being his wife. "But father," Nneka whispered, her fingers tracing the intricate designs on her coral beads, "I am not ready. I want love, not duty." Her mother, wrapped in a vibrant Ankara wrapper, sighed. "Love is a luxury, my child. Duty is our currency. Chief Okoye will provide for you. You will wear the title of first wife with pride." Nneka's gaze drifted to the window, where the ube trees swayed in the breeze. Their purple fruit hung like promises, tempting her with secrets whispered by the wind. She imagined herself running through the cassava fields, her feet unbound by tradition, her heart free. Days turned into weeks and Nneka's resolve wavered. She wandered along the riverbank, her bare feet sinking into the mud. The sun painted her skin a deeper shade of brown, and her eyes mirrored the uncertainty of the water's ripples. Amaka, her childhood friend, joined her. Amaka's laughter was as infectious as the songs of the village birds. She wore her akwete headscarf with defiance, its vibrant colors a rebellion against fate. "Nneka," Amaka said, her voice low, "you cannot marry Chief Okoye. He is older than the hills, and his breath smells of bitter kola." Nneka chuckled. "Amaka, you always find humor in our troubles." "But this is not a jest," Amaka insisted. "Our ancestors may guide us, but they do not know the desires of our hearts. We are not cassava tubers to be planted where the soil pleases." Nneka nodded. "I dream of love, Amaka. A love that blooms like the hibiscus flowers by the river. Is that too much to ask?" Amaka's eyes sparkled. "Then fight for it, Nneka. The winds carry whispers of change, but the tempest that reshapes our destiny." And so, Nneka stood at the crossroad, the path to duty on one side and the unseen trail of her heart on the other side. The whispering palms overhead seemed to urge her forward, their fronds brushing against her cheeks like the touch of forgotten ancestors. She vowed to herself, she will not be a reluctant bride. She will be the author of her own story, inked with defiance and woven with threads of love. In Alakaya, where the sun warms the earth, and the air smells of roasted yam and palm oil, Nneka sought solace. She wandered to the Whispering Pines, a sacred grove where the ancient statues stood guard. There, Nneka confided in her friend Amaka. They both wore their colorful Akwete headscarf. Amaka listened as Nneka spoke of dreams and defiance. The whispering poems seemed to echo their secrets, urging Nneka to be tempest that reshaped her destiny. Amidst the rustling leaves, Nneka vowed to follow her heart, even if it means challenging traditions. The spirits of her ancestors danced around her, their presence reassuring. Love, she realized, was worth more than duty. The village elders gathered under the shade of the Whispering Pines. They wore flowing agbada robes and their eyes held the wisdom of many years. Nneka stood before them, her Akwete headscarf adorned with coral beads, her heart pounding like the drums during the New Yam festival. Elder Okafor, his face etched with age, spoke first. Nneka, child of Alakahia, your parents have chosen well. Chief Okoye is a man of honor and wealth. His compound stretches like the Ogbunike caves, and his cattle graze upon the hills. Nneka's gaze shifted to the ground. She felt the weight of tradition pressed down on her. The elders murmured among themselves, their voices like the rustling of palm fronds. Elder Nwachukwu, his insibidi-marked face stern, leaned forward. Our ancestors smile upon this union. It is written in the sacred scrolls. The duty of our daughter is to obey. But what of love? Nneka blurted out, her voice echoing through the council chamber. Is love not a currency of the heart? Elder Nwachukwu raised an eyebrow. Love is like a harmattan wind. It comes and goes. Duty remains. Nneka's fingers clenched. She wondered if the elders' hearts were as unyielding as the Iroko tree. In the quiet night, Nneka cried alone in her small hut. The bead around her waist made soft sounds with each tear that fell. She felt trapped, like the fireflies that glowed outside, wanting to be free. Outside, the ube trees whispered to each other. Their purple fruits were like little promises, tempting Nneka with the thought of freedom. She wiped away her tears and made up her mind. The winds of change would help her, even if it meant going against what was always done. Nneka promised herself to go back to the Whispering Pines. There, among the old statues and under the big Iroko tree, she would find the strength she needed. The spirit of her family from long ago danced around her, telling her to be brave. Nneka met a man who told stories. He traveled from place to place and knew many tales. He wore a shirt with the patterns that had been washed many times. His eyes looked like they had seen many things. Hello, young one, he said with a smile. I can see you have a big decision to make. Nneka sat down near him, under the big Iroko tree. How do you know? She asked. The man laughed softly. The wind tells me stories. It talks about a girl who wants to find true love. Nneka nodded. But my family and the village want me to do what they say. They want me to marry a man I do not love. The storyteller looked at her kindly. Love is like the patterns we draw. It gets more beautiful when it's true. Sometimes, love is hidden in what we must do. Nneka thought about this. What should I do? He pointed to the hills. Over there's a village. In that village, there's a young man who dreams of love that his family doesn't want. And there's a girl who laughs and dreams of a path that leads to love, not just to what's always been there. Nneka felt hope in her heart. Can I really find such love? The storyteller's smile was warm. Yes, you can. But you need to be brave. Like the iroko tree that stands tall even when the storm comes. That night, Nneka decided she would find her own path. She would look for the love that was true, not just what was expected of her. She would be like the wind, free. One night, Nneka had a special dream. In her dream, she was in a beautiful place full of light and music. She saw people from long ago, her ancestors, dancing around her. They wore robes that shone like the sun and had their faces painted with special marks. The ancestors danced close to Nneka. They did not speak with words, but she could understand them. They told her that being brave was good. They said that fighting through love was a treasure. Nneka felt happy and strong in her dream. She danced with her ancestors under the big sky. When she woke up, she remembered their message. She knew what she had to do. Nneka decided to follow her heart. She will not marry Chief Okoye. She will find her own path, the one that led to true love and happiness. Nneka knew she had to be brave. She went to her parents and stood tall. She wore her colorful judge wrapper and the sun was going down. She told them about her wish to live a life filled with love, not just to do what was always done. Her father looked at her with soft eyes. Nneka, he said, our ancestors guide us, but they also respect bravery. If your heart is leading you somewhere else, we will listen. Her mother, with a face showing worry and understanding, agreed. Child, she said, love is like the sweet ube fruit, rare and precious. If you find it, keep it close. Nneka felt strong. She would not marry just because it was expected. She would find her own love. She went to meet the young man from the other village, the one who dreamed of a love that his family didn't want. Under the whispering palms, Nneka met him. His name was Chijioke, and he had kind eyes. They talked about their dreams and how they wanted to change things. Chijioke wore his shirt with pride, and Nneka felt he was the one she was looking for. They promised to be change they wanted to see. They will mix their love into the old ways, making something new. The spirits of their ancestors danced around them, happy with their choice. And so, Nneka and Chijioke stood in front of everyone, holding hands. The village watched, the young and the old, the fireflies and the big iroko tree. Nneka's wrapper waved like a flag of change. I choose love, Nneka said loudly. I choose Chijioke. Elder Nwachukwu looked at them and smiled. Maybe, he said, Our ancestors are happy with this too. Nneka made a brave decision. She showed everyone that love should be part of their choices. The village started to whisper her name, and the winds of change began to blow through Alakahia. Nneka's brave decision spread like wildfire through Alakahia. People talked about her choice. Some were surprised, but many were happy. They saw Nneka's courage and started thinking about their own choices. Amaka, her friend, stood at the crossroad. Nneka, she said, "You've ignited a storm." The whispering palms trembled with anticipation. Nneka's name echoed through the cassava fields. The village was buzzing with talk, the young and the old, the fireflies and the big Iroko tree. Some people clung to the old ways, but others were inspired by Nneka's bravery. They began to question traditions and think about their heart's desires. Chief Okoye, dressed in his finest Etibo outfit, received the news with surprise. His compound, once a place of certainty, now felt fragile. He paced beneath the ube tree, their purple fruits mocking him. "Nneka," he muttered, "a tempest in my carefully cultivated garden." He summoned the storyteller, the same wanderer who spoke of hidden paths. The storyteller arrived. His Ishiagu shirt faded with his eyes sharp. "Chief," he said, "love is like a river. It can carve new valleys or drown the unwary." Chief Okoye scowled. "What do you propose?" The storyteller gestured to the horizon. "Beyond these hills lies another village. Jay, a widow, tends to her yam barns. She knows the language of love, the one that transcends age and tradition." And so Chief Okoye set forth. He met the widow, her George wrapper woven with resilience. She spoke of loss, of longing, and of the unseen path she had walked. The chief listened, his heart thawing like the harmattan frost. In the village square, Nneka watched. The whispering palms rustled, their approval like ancestral whispers. Chief Okoye approached, his Etibo robe humbler now. "Nneka," he said, "I release you from duty. May love bloom like the hibiscus flowers." And so, Alakaya witnessed a transformation. The reluctant bride who became the courageous heart. The chief who found love beyond tradition. The fireflies danced, and the Iroko tree stood tall, its branches reaching for the sky. Nneka's brave decision had changed everything in Alakahia. People talked about her choice. Some were surprised, but many admired her courage. They began to think about their own lives and what they truly wanted. Amaka, her friend, stood at the crossroads with her. "Nneka," she said, "you've ignited something big." The whispering palms seemed to dance more joyfully. Nneka's name echoed through the cassava fields. The village was buzzing with talk, the young and the old, the fireflies and the big Iroko tree. Some people clung to the old ways, but others were inspired by Nneka's bravery. They began to question traditions and consider their heart desires. The big festival day arrived in Alakaya. The whole village was alive with colors and music. Nneka wore her most beautiful aquete blouse. She felt excited and a little nervous. Today she would tell everyone about her choice. The harmattan winds blew, carrying whispers of change. Nneka found peace in the sacred grove. There she felt close to the spirits of her ancestors. They seemed to dance around her, telling her she was doing the right thing. The festival was the biggest day in Alakahia. Everyone came out to see the dances and hear the music. Nneka wore her best clothes, a bright aquete blouse. She felt strong and ready to share her choice with everyone. As the drum beat and people danced, Nneka stepped forward. She looked at all the faces in the crowd. "I will not marry Chief Okoye," she said. "I choose love. I choose my own path." The people of the village listened. Some were shocked, but many clapped and cheered. They saw Nneka's brave heart, and it made them think about their own lives. After the festival, things began to change in Alakahia. Nneka's story spread far and wide. People talked about the girl who chose love over old traditions. They admired her courage. The village felt different now. The young people talked about their dreams more openly. The elders watched and some began to understand. Love and choice became important to everyone. Nneka's choice brought a new spirit to Anakaya. The ube trees bloomed, and so did the freedom in people's hearts. And Nneka's story will be told for many years to come. If this story has touched your heart, please consider supporting us by following us or subscribing and sharing this video. Your support allows us to bring more stories of hope and healing to the world. Thank you.